Hello, welcome to Encore, the arts and culture show here on France 24. I'm Jade Barker. Thanks for joining us. Coming up in today's programme. Jazz in Japan. As Osaka hosts International Jazz Day this week, we find out why Paris has been so synonymous with the musical genre. Plus, Cleopatra coming at you. We check out the new exhibition which aims to find out who the woman behind the myth is. And partying in Paris with a twist. The City of Light may have lost its reputation as a nightlife destination in recent years, but we meet the group putting on pop-up events that'll have you reaching for your dancing shoes. First, though, we have the full lineup of movies, and now we know who will be the ones choosing the winner of the prestigious Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival this year. Sofia Coppola, Gael Garcia Bernal, Willem Dafoe will be helping jury president Jane Campion decide amongst the 18 films in competition. The lineup is completed by France's Carole Bouquet, Iranian actress Leila Hatemi, Korean actress Jeon Do-young, and directors Nicholas Winding Refn and Jia Zonki. I and the rest of the culture team will, of course, be bringing you all the latest about the movies, the madness and the glitz and glamour during the festival, so don't miss that. Right, well, from movies to music now, what comes to mind when you think of Osaka? Maybe Takoyaki or Universal Studios Japan? Well, add jazz to that list because the Japanese city is this year's host of UNESCO International Jazz Day, taking place this week. The event started 3 years ago in a city that's probably more aligned with the musical genre, Paris. Catherine Gillam explains how the City of Light became such a jazz mecca.
Few cities in the world are more associated with jazz than Paris. Most of the genre's greatest names all came to play in the French capital, time and again. The mostly African-American musicians attracted to the City of Light and its more relaxed racial attitudes. Some, like Archie Shepp, even chose to move here permanently.
Many black musicians are here in Europe as much as they are at home in the United States because there are so many more opportunities to perform here. And this music is appreciated here in a way that it's not in the States.
It isn't just jazz musicians that have been welcomed to France with open arms. Afrobeat singer-songwriter and Grammy nominee Femi Kuti credits France and his invitation to play at the Angoulême Festival for the start of his international career.
France became like the mecca of accepting all kinds of music. First African music, everybody was being exposed through France.
Overseas artists benefit from their exposure in France. In exchange, foreign influences has helped local jazz change and evolve over the years. French jazzman Ibrahim Malouf is a case in point. He successfully used his family's Arabic origins to create his own unique sound, winning Artist of the Year at the French Jazz Music Awards only last year.
In France, there's a lot of respect for jazz and for jazz mixed with other musical genres. France has always been a welcoming country, and so there is a musical catalyst.
Jazz culture is still vibrant in France almost 100 years after it was first imported. The country now has 2,600 registered jazz musicians and 400 dedicated festivals.
Well, next, Miguel de Cervantes, Spain's greatest writer, was a soldier of little fortune. He died broke in Madrid, his body riddled with bullets. No more was heard of the author until the rediscovery of a novel featuring an eccentric character called Don Quixote rescued him from oblivion. By then, though, nobody could remember where his grave was. Now, 4 centuries later, Spain intends to do the great man justice. A search for his body underneath the convent of the Barefoot Trinitarians in Madrid has begun, where it's believed his body may lie.
Cervantes was very grateful to the Trinitarian order because they rescued him from Algeria. They paid his ransom. Cervantes had tried to escape several times, so his freedom only came after the intervention of the Trinitarian order. So this may have been the first reason why Cervantes wanted to be buried at the Church of the Trinitarians. Also, his daughter, Isabel de Saavedra, was a nun at the church.
Well, another name that stood the test of time, not because of a book she wrote, but because she's been immortalised in novels and films for centuries, is Cleopatra. But how much do we really know about the Egyptian queen? A new exhibition here in Paris aims to debunk some of the myths and shine a light on the tiny lady who's cast a large shadow over history.
A regal profile fitting for the Queen of Egypt and the most powerful woman in ancient history. Cleopatra needs no introduction, but do we really know what she looked like?
This is believed to be the only complete representation of Cleopatra. This is her. At her full height, she was just over 5 foot, so quite a small lady.
Diminutive in size, but gargantuan in reputation. Liz Taylor brought her to the silver screen in 1963. But long before the world of cinema, Cleopatra was a real historical figure. Her sharp political brain, diplomatic skill and talent for seduction meant the first and last female pharaoh was well equipped for the job.
She didn't look like a goddess. She wasn't perfect. She even had a big nose, but she was a charismatic woman and very cultured.
Her life was the stuff of great novels, and her death was no less intriguing. When her lover Julius Caesar was murdered, the legend goes that she decided to take her own life with the help of a poisonous snake.
Cleopatra was quite good with poison. She actually poisoned a number of people herself. She may have even committed suicide with her own toxic potion. The story of the asp, the snake, that could just be a legend.
A legend that's captured imaginations for 2,000 years, becoming a myth and a mystery, and spawning many glamorous imitations.
Now, if delving into Cleopatra's ancient world isn't up your alley, how about Alibaba's cave? A secretive group called We Are the Oracle has surfaced in the French capital in recent years, throwing once-in-a-lifetime soirees for Parisians looking to party somewhere a little more off the grid. As Diptyque Laurent reports, the group is hoping to restore the City of Light's nightlife reputation.
A little taste of the Saharan desert in the center of the French capital. Complete with tea merchants, camels, and even the Paris-scoring Philharmonic Orchestra. For one night only, the country's biggest skate park is transformed into the Arabian desert. It's all the work of a group called We Are the Oracle, or WATO. They've been hosting events like this since 2011.
We're here to say to the world, Paris is not dead. There's amazing things like happening in Paris, and progressively show to our audience that it's a good thing to come to our parties and to trust us. We need trust.
Despite a €40 entrance fee, it's attracted a crowd of around 2,000 people. The parties are proving a hit with those looking for more than just a night out. Far from Paris's gilded nightclubs, WATO take their guests to the hidden corners of the city. Previous events include a 1940s themed party in a bomb shelter and a black-tie dinner inside an emptied municipal swimming pool. For some, it's a welcome change from the usual Paris scene.
I've been a Parisian for many years, and I find that we only have clubs that are exclusive, quite small, and in general, quite expensive. So I don't go to clubs. I don't like it very much.
What we're lacking is, for example, when we're looking for places to go out, there's just not anywhere to party until 6 a.m. or anywhere that can host 6,000 people. So we're a little frustrated in our creative energy because it's always the same thing.
The themed events are also starting to turn some powerful heads. Former French Culture Minister Jacques Lang was a special guest at their most recent party. WATO's founder says his goal is to help restore Paris's reputation as a party capital of the world. But reputations don't change overnight. For now, WATO are taking it one party at a time.
Finally, Italian artist Lucio Fontana is considered one of the great visionaries of the 20th century, seen as a predecessor of contemporary art. Now, the Museum of Modern Art here in Paris is putting on a retrospective of his eclectic, non-conforming work with over 200 sculptures, drawings, ceramics and paintings. We're going to leave you now with a taster of his work on display. Remember, you can catch up with all the latest news on our social networks. Thanks for tuning in. See you for more culture soon.